Hello there, and I am at my 7th week on OMAD, and just wanted to share what I've learned in the last week. This really is a journey, and you should treat it like a journey and forget about reaching a destination. That is something I have realized for myself, because even when I do reach my goal weight, I'm still going to have to maintain it. Food and my relationship with food is obviously an issue, and I'm going to obviously have to keep an eye on how I handle food. And when you look at it as being a journey, it changes a lot of things, a lot of positive things for me especially, and that is that you are going to make mistakes during your journey on your way to your goal weight. And there's no mistakes, there's no right and wrong. It's your learning. You're relearning a relationship with food. And that's positive. And it's okay when you do things you didn't plan. Like yesterday, I had my hour 2 hours before my scheduled time. It's obviously not a big deal, but it taught me to look out for certain things that really the temptation was too big for me in that time just before my eating hour. Like the guy on OMAD Revolution says, about 2 hours before your regular eating time, your insulin slowly starts to rise in preparation of eating your meal. And that's a crucial time not to be around tempting food. I learned that. And I'm happy that I learned that. So I'm not going to look at it as failure or something negative, but as something that I've learned. I'm also going to share a lovely email information that I got from a weight loss coach that I've been getting. I want to read just one or two of the things that's in this email, but I'm going to share the entire thing in the description. And that is, change begin with an acceptance of where you are at the moment. I really like that. And she also said something that Louise Hay said. The point of power is always in the moment. Acceptance is dealing with life on life's terms. One cannot change what one cannot accept. There's a lot in just dealing with things that happen in your life. And on the OMAD journey, there's a lot of things that happen that you just have to deal with. And also learning to love yourself in the now. She explains it beautifully in, it's not about the future, it's about now. You are what you are now. If you cannot accept the way you are now, you're never gonna really love the new you being a lot lighter. You've got to learn to love the you as you are right now. Okay, that's enough on that. Self-love is something I'm spending a lot of time on as well. And self-dialogue is something I've been focusing on a lot. How do you talk to yourself? Would you ever talk to yourself? Would you ever talk to your daughter or your best friend the way you talk to yourself? Looking at yourself in a mirror, standing there naked, or putting on a jean that's a little bit too tight. What are you thinking? What are you saying to yourself? And would you ever say that to your daughter? I say things to myself that I would never say to people I love. And that's a clue that I'm not loving myself enough. So, part of the journey, learning. My biggest revelation this last week has been that after, I'm 45 years old, after a life of probably, how long have I been cooking for myself? Probably 20 years, more, 20, 25 years, more, 30 years probably. And in that, you do buy a certain amount of food, you keep a certain amount of food in your fridge and cupboards, and you prep a certain amount of food, and you cook a certain amount of food, and then you eat a certain amount of food. On OMAD, you cut out one part, the amount of food that you eat. But I've realized that I have to adjust the amount of food I buy and then the amount of food I prepare and cook. Otherwise, I have constantly got this excess of food in my fridge and in my cupboard, and then I feel obligated to eat more, where I could fast more easy if there's just less food in my fridge, especially the fresh stuff. Eating mainly raw, I buy obviously mainly raw, and I've just constantly got too much food in my fridge. So major adjustment I need to make in getting less food, buying less food, and then I'll obviously prep less. But it's such a difficult thing because I'm so used to making a certain amount of food. I've obviously got a family to consider, but it's sort of easy because I'm the only one eating mainly raw. The others are easier having quinoa in the cupboard or whatever. Big thing for me, and I'm sure I would really have less. I would go through my fast period a lot easier if there's just not so much food in my fridge. I have also realized very clearly that being a woman and being on OMAD, you have got to keep an eye on where you are in your cycle. This is crucial. There's major differences in how you eat the week before your period and the week during your period. I have discovered this and made changes instantly, and it has served me so well. It's amazing how much easier your fasting phase is if you eat the right food. So like I said last week, I have been adding whole starches and carbs to my week before my period. Soaked oats, sprouted buckwheat, more fruit, a lot of things in my salad that's starchy. So I had spiralized sweet potato and made my dressings sweeter. It worked like a charm. I really went through that week with a breeze. Still cravings, but really a lot easier. And then I got my period. And wow, I did not feel the need for carbs anymore, but I still had intense hunger and realized my body needed something, not carbs anymore. And I remembered that that's sort of normal during your period to have more iron. So I immediately added loads of vegan raw iron sources to my daily meal, which was apricots, dried apricots, mushrooms, cacao, which I'm not complaining about. I've been making, for now I'm buying my dark chocolate, 85 or 90% dark chocolate, but I am going to start making my own raw chocolate, something I've always done. I'm just out of the ingredients. It caught me a bit off guard this month, but I'm going to have stock of my raw organic cacao chocolate that I'm going to be making, and I will be very sure to have enough of that. A lot of other things that's just rich in iron. I did beautiful raw spinach. I know cooked spinach is higher in iron, so I'll see how that goes. I might add cooked spinach. Otherwise, I felt fine just making my salad half spinach and half lettuce with apricots, with cacao nibs in my salad. How weird is that? But it was delicious. And mushrooms. I did some beautiful dehydrated mushrooms. just that extra iron made all the difference, and I got through my period week with a breeze. Today is my last day, and I am all of a sudden not having any of those hormonal urges and surges, and I am now ready for the next week to do like I did in my first month, eat every 48 hours. I'm not committing to any amount of days, but last month I did that for 2 weeks, and I have the idea that was the 2 weeks after my period. This is my strong time. This is the time I really feel strong on my fasting, and that's what I'm gonna attempt. I'm going to see if I can do 2 weeks of eating every 48 hours. But if I struggle, I'm just falling back to OMAD. Eating once a day I'm perfectly happy with that, but I'm just going to see if I can manage eating every 48 hours for the next 2 weeks and see how that goes. I have also moved my eating time up till evenings instead of afternoon lunches, which I have been doing. This is working loads better. This is just, even though it doesn't really suit me, it works so much better. I'm naturally tired come bedtime, and I'm actually getting into bed to sleep at 8 o'clock, in between 8 and 9 o'clock, something I just haven't been able to do. And then I struggle to get up mornings and do my walk. I do a 4-kilometer walk every morning, and if I don't get into bed early enough, I can't do that. So this has naturally just sorted that issue out. I'm tired when 8 o'clock, and then I do some reading and breathing and a little bit of meditation in bed and fall asleep just before 9, I suppose. It works beautifully. So I eat at 5 and I'm in bed by 8. When I did my main meal at lunchtime, I felt very sluggish for the whole afternoon, very lethargic, couldn't do much. Like I've said many times before, I really struggle after I've eaten. Even though I'm hungry the mornings, it's easier for me than feeling that sensation of your digestion is working and you feel tired. So this is working beautifully for me. I am hungry. I get very hungry just before, from about 3 o'clock, and I'm going to have to see how I'm going to divert the extreme hunger that time and do something else, and then eat at 5 o'clock. So I'm very happy with my sleep pattern sorting itself out naturally. What else did I want to say? Last thing. I have also been writing down a schedule of how I want to do my OMAD days, and this really works well. Write down what time do you want to get up, what you're going to drink when you wake up. You're going to have lemon water and then a black coffee at this time. This is my fasting phase. In that phase, I'll be drinking apple cider vinegar or whatever, green teas, and I'll be eating at 5 o'clock. Obviously, if things happen and you change it around a bit, it doesn't matter, but starting off with a plan, for me, I feel I stick to it a lot easier. Just having a plan, and it's on a piece of paper on my kitchen cupboard, so I see it, and it sort of reminds me constantly that's my plan, and that's how I'm doing this. It really, really works well, and I'm also keeping on a calendar, keeping note of my cycle, so I'm not going to be caught off guard when I'm a week before my period. Otherwise, all good. Still losing beautifully. All my clothes are just sitting looser and looser and looser. I had to go get some new tops. I am completely out of t-shirts. Nothing fit anymore. I am losing beautifully all the time. Very, very happy with my progress. Have an awesome, awesome day.